How many sets should you do for a muscle group in a single workout? Let's discuss the research, real world application, and our own personal experiences. So please be sure to share your personal experiences down in the comment section below. This is a shared experience. We're learning and growing together. So I would love to hear your insights as well. Now, based on the research, we know that every set that you perform for an exercise in a single workout is less effective than the previous sets. Here in this study, you see that they performed 6 sets of the bench press, resting for 4 minutes between sets, and they selected a weight that allowed them to perform 12 repetitions on that first set, and by the time they got to that 6th set, they were only able to perform half the repetition. So your performance diminishes with every set that you perform, and it's a general consensus that it's really not worth it to perform more than 10 sets for a muscle group in a workout. Like, even if you're able to maybe eke out just a tiny little bit of additional muscle gains from more than 10 sets, like the additional accumulated fatigue that you experience, it just isn't worth it. And in many cases, it may be more detrimental than it is any good that comes from doing any more than 10 sets. So less than 10 sets is one general rule of thumb. How many sets you actually perform in a single workout for a muscle group depends on a few factors. Number one is how often you're training that muscle group throughout the week. So if you're spreading out that training volume across one workout, 2 workouts, 3 workouts, maybe more, that's going to have an impact on your decision on how many sets you should perform in a single workout. Also, your lifestyle, what other activities you're doing throughout the day, throughout the week, and how well you recover between workouts. Those are some of the key factors that will have an influence on how many sets you should perform for a muscle group in a single workout. Now, using my personal experiences over my training years and in recent years here, for the past, I'd say about 2 years, I've been weight training 3 times per week. I'm just finding it is suiting my body so much better, especially taking into consideration all the other activities that I do: yoga, calisthenics, paddleboarding, hiking, jogging, dancing now. So 3 days per week just suits me so much better. And for the past 2 years, I've been following most of the time it's full body workouts that I've been following from the Lose Fat, Get Jacked Inner Circle. We also have 4-day plans and 5-day plans, just again to suit everyone's individual needs. But the 3-day plans suit me best. And I've been finding that full body workouts where I'm hitting each muscle with 2 to 3 sets per workout, so spread that across 3 workouts, that's like 6 to 9 sets throughout the week, has been suiting me best. Like, I find that I finish each workout feeling invigorated, feeling strong, feeling empowered, feeling victorious, not sore at all, and ready to tackle everything else that I can throughout the rest of the day. This month in the Lose Fat, Get Jacked Inner Circle, the 3-day plan is a push-pull leg split, where we're hitting each muscle group with 6 sets in a single workout. We're only hitting that muscle group once per week. Man, have I ever been sore. It's insane how sore I've been. And I've been cramping up just about every single day. In part because it's change. It's expected. It's going to be interesting to see how my body responds and adapts during the next few weeks here following this plan. But this has been a shock to my system, a shock that I'm not too happy about, but also something that, the big realization for me is that how I'm feeling this week is basically how I felt most of my life since I've been lifting for the past 37 years here. It's like I basically lived in a constant state of muscle soreness because I was always trying to follow the research, follow the evidence of 10 to 20 sets per muscle group per week, so spreading that volume out throughout the week. And so a lot of times where I'm doing at least, oftentimes 10 sets per muscle group per week, and just experiencing soreness all the time, thinking that was par for the course. That's just, you should feel this way as a bodybuilder. It's what is necessary. You just kind of get used to feeling that constant feeling of fatigue, muscle soreness, aches and pains. I'm feeling those aches and pains this week for sure. So muscle soreness, to begin with, isn't an indication at all of muscle growth. It's really not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It just depends on you, again, and your lifestyle, what you want to get out of this, what you're willing to kind of put up with throughout your days, throughout your weeks here. For myself personally, it's it's been a hindrance. Like, again, feeling the soreness, the fatigue, the aches, the pains. It's had a negative impact on my cardio, like the jogging. My legs were feeling sore with the jogging. It had a negative impact on my yoga practice, even downward dog, which is an easy pose to hold. Just everything, my upper back felt sore. The muscle cramping, like in my middle of the night, bending my elbows, biceps cramped up on me, so had a negative impact on my sleep that night, had a negative impact on my dance. Basically everything I'm doing, I just feel sore. I cramp up more. It's just no good is coming from that. And when I compare that to the full body workouts where I feel fresh, I don't feel sore, I'm able to give more to every single set that I'm performing. Basically, when I'm doing full body workouts, 2 to 3 sets for a muscle group, 3 times per week, every set is incredibly effective. So if I'm getting 6 sets, like these last few sets aren't as effective as the rest of my sets that I'm performing throughout the week, because I'm more fresh with every single set that I'm performing when I'm spreading that volume out across 3 sets per week. So I'm able to give more to every set that I'm performing, able to get more out of every set that I'm performing. I'm able to get more out of all the other activities I'm performing. So I'm going to perform better with my jogging, which I could have improved my cardiovascular conditioning better. I'm going to perform better my yoga practice, so improving my mobility, my flexibility, my balance, calisthenics type stuff. I'm able to do more and get more out of my active lifestyle when I'm spreading my workout training volume across multiple sessions throughout the week. This is my personal experience right now. Again, like I spent decades hitting more volume, more sets for each muscle group per workout. I was able to do it. I just had to kind of put up with that soreness. Playing hockey, I'd be out on the ice. There's times I have to come to the bench because like just holding my stick, my biceps would cramp out there. My forearms would cramp up there. And I'd have to come to the bench and stretch my arms out. My quads would cramp up on the ice. I'd come to the bench and have to stretch out my quads on the bench. Like I'm like, well, this is just what I have to do. This is part of the sacrifice I have to make for being a bodybuilder. And it's not the case. Again, this is kind of one of those instances where reflecting back, do I wish I would have started training the way I do right now earlier? There's a part of me is like, yes, but again, I've learned valuable lessons that have got me to this point where I can appreciate where I'm at right now a whole lot more. And I just wasn't ready back then to make these kinds of changes. I was so against full body workouts. It used to frustrate the hell out of me to hear other guys saying that full body workouts were the best. I'm like, no, dude, like I like higher volume in a single workout so much better, feeling that pump, feeling that burn, feeling that muscle soreness, all those things I thought were greater contributors to muscle growth when in reality they're not. And in reality, I probably would have got more out of my training taking more of this approach, but who knows? Hindsight is 2020. I'm just sharing my personal experiences right now, and I'm really looking forward to hearing about your personal experiences. Again, I was able to get through that higher training volume, more sets in a single workout. In the past, I was sore all the time. I felt muscle fatigue all the time, aches, pains, and niggles all the time, but able to get through it. And because I was able to get through it, I kind of wore it as a badge of honor and just thought like that's what you had to do in order to build your best body. And again, hindsight's 2020. I'm really happy with where I'm at right now. Again, I will keep you guys posted on how I feel as the weeks go on in this push-pull leg split. If the muscle soreness dissipates, it's just 1 week, if I only have to tolerate 1 week of this, it's not so bad because I do enjoy, I think it's in our best interest to vary our training volume like this throughout the calendar year, to vary the splits that we're following, to challenge our bodies in different ways. I think all of this is very beneficial. But in the big picture, you want to kind of take what your body responds to best and do that more often and just kind of sprinkle in these other splits, these other forms of training volume in order to kind of challenge your body in different ways and just kind of keep you on your toes. And again, keep your enthusiasm high as well, because I think there's just so many benefits to a variety of training splits in your overall calendar year. Those are my insights, my personal experiences right now. Again, I look forward to hearing all about yours. And again, according to the research, we're looking at no more than 10 sets for a single muscle group in a single workout. And I find a lot of guys, it might be, we're all going to have our different sweet spot. If you're training 3 times per week, each muscle group, I find like 2 to 4 sets max. Usually 2 to 3 sets is probably best in a single workout. If you're doing twice a week, so an upper lower split maybe, you'd hit anywhere from like, I say 3 to 4 sets per muscle group per week. And if you're looking at once a week, like I'm with the push pull leg split here, like maybe 6 to 8 is best. If you want to kind of overreach, challenge yourself a little bit more, attempt the 10 sets, but pay attention to how your body's responding, how it's impacting everything else in your life. So again, my insights right now, look forward to hearing yours and reading them in the comment section below.